When you talk about families that's in the music business, who do you think of first? Is it the Jacksons, the Isley brothers, the Leverts? What about the DeBarges? When you talk about family that had talent, this family had it. But the one person who stood out the most in this family, not L, but Bobby. He would lead the way for his siblings to follow. But before we get started into the story, let's go ahead and shout out to Instagram. Give us a follow on Instagram to enter yourself into a future giveaway. I will be announcing the winner when this channel gets to 2,000 subscribers. Also, stop over to Patreon and check out some exclusive videos that will not be featured on YouTube. Now let's get started into the story. Born Robert DeBarge Jr. on March 5th, 1956 in Detroit, Michigan. He was named after his father, Robert DeBarge Sr., who was a white man, and his mother, we all know her as Mama DeBarge. She was black. Now, here's where the story gets explicit and sensitive to some people. Robert DeBarge Sr., he was a very abusive man. He would abuse his wife as well as his children. But Bobby, he would get it worse out of all. Not only did his father abuse his kids physically, he also abused them sexually too. He was a very sick man. In my opinion, any man to cause some type of harm to a female or kids is not a man to me, and they are very sick. But Mama DeBarge, she would call the police on the father, but nothing was done. Due to the racial tensions back then, they already had a riot in 1967, the Detroit riots, and with Robert DeBarge Sr. being white, nothing was done. The older siblings, Tommy and Bobby, they was in various groups in high school. One group being called Hot Ice. They had a song called Please Don't Let Me Go that had featured Bobby's amazing single vocals and his piano skills. Like I said earlier, Bobby, he had a lot of talent, but his talent was overshadowed by his drug habit. He had developed his drug habit when he was only 15 years old. In fact, Bobby, he wasn't the only one in the family that had a drug problem. L, Mark, Tommy, Chico, James, and Bunny, they all battled their own drug habits. The group that Tommy and Bobby was in, they will eventually go to California, but Bobby, he would stay back in Detroit to battle his drug habit. While in California, the group would meet Jermaine Jackson and his wife Hazel Cordy on the elevator. Greg Williams, who was a close friend of Bobby, would give Jermaine a demo. Now back then, this is in the 70s, so back then if you wanted to make it in Hollywood, the best bet was to go to Hollywood and just so happen to wish for the best. Luckily, it worked. Jermaine would get him a call within 24 hours looking to sign him for a record deal. Greg Williams, he would ask Bobby to rejoin the group. And by this time, Bobby, he was clean and his main focus was on music. They had a tryout performance in front of Berry Gordy and other Motown executives. Now while the performing, they would switch from lead singer to lead singer and use different instruments. Now this is uncommon during that time because most bands had one lead singer. This is so impressive that Berry Gordy decided to name the group Switch. Barry had signed the group to Gordy Records, later to be known as Motown Records. Now Barry, he would go on to say that Bobby was the most talented person he had ever met. Even DeBarge, he would go ahead and give Bobby his props, saying that basically he was influenced by him.
Influence Bobby had in your career, because we all know he was probably one of the greatest singers of our time. But tell me what type of influence he had on your career, especially.
Bobby had a tremendous, impeccable influence on my life, period. My life consists of career, my life consists of emotion, my life consists of ups and downs and failures and victories. And Bobby played an important part in every aspect of my life. He critiqued me as an entertainer, as a songwriter. He made sure that I was always at my best. He never let me settle for less.
In 1978, their debut self-entitled album, Switch, was produced by Jermaine Jackson. It went certified platinum, and they had a hit that had reached number 6 on the US R&B charts called There'll Never Be. In 1979, they released their second album called Switch 2, which went certified gold and had another hit that reached number 8 on the US R&B charts called I'll Call Your Name. During the time of that song, Bobby DeBarge and LaToya Jackson, they was dating. And there's a rumor that the song I'll Call Your Name is about LaToya. But in 1980, Motown would sign the DeBarges to a record deal. They would sign Elle, Randy, James, Mark, and Bunny. Motown would influence the DeBarges to follow in the Jacksons' footsteps. Bobby and Tommy, they would eventually quit the group Switch to help their family on their debut album. Now the DeBarges, they became the most successful group of the 1980s. Bobby, he had did a lot for his family at this point. From producing records to helping co-write songs, it was time for Bobby to start thinking about himself. And in 1983, Motown will offer Bobby a solo deal. But by this time, Bobby's career was on rocks. In 1988, Bobby and his little brother Chico, they was arrested for selling drugs. Bobby, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison, and after getting out, his main focus was on music. He wanted to get out there and show the world that he still got it. But while in prison, Bobby, he would catch AIDS. And according to his little brother Chico DeBarge, he would say that if Bobby didn't catch AIDS by injecting himself with dirty needles, then this leaves the possibility of homosexual activity. August 16th, 1995, Bobby, he would lose his battle with AIDS. He was only 39 years old. But before his death, he was working on an album called It's Not Over. But sadly, he would pass before the album would drop. Thank you everybody for watching. If you like what you see here, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out my Patreon for some exclusive videos that will not be featured on YouTube. Until then, see you in the next one.